Imagine this. It's May 1945. Berlin is burning. The Red Army is closing in, and the man who dragged the world into war, Adolf Hitler, is supposedly trapped in a bunker deep beneath the ruined city. Hitler's bunker is just miles away. The war almost comes to an end. This is the Führer bunker. Inside, Hitler is joined by his wife Eva Braun and high-ranking Nazis like Joseph Goebbels and his family, Martin Bormann, and others. Also in the bunker is Hitler's dog Blondie, a German shepherd. History books tell us he killed himself there, that the war ended with a bullet in the head and a body burned to ashes in a garden outside the bunker. But what if I told you that decades later, the one piece of physical evidence, a skull fragment that was said to be Hitler's, turned out to belong to a woman? Suddenly, the story we've been told for more than 70 years is not as certain as it once seemed. Did Hitler really die in that bunker, or did he escape? This is the story of one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. What really happened to Adolf Hitler after the war? For decades, the Soviet archives held what they claimed was Hitler's skull fragment, with a bullet hole through it. This was shown to the world as final proof that Hitler had died in Berlin. But in 2009, scientists from the University of Connecticut were given permission to test the bone. Their findings shocked the world.
Nazi leader Adolf Hitler continues to court controversy and speculation more than 60 years after his publicized suicide. U.S. scientists claim that the only remnant of the dictator, a part of his skull kept in Russia, actually belonged to a woman.
Hitler's only remains are his jawbone and his skull, both kept in an archive in Russia. But American archaeologist Nick Bellantoni and geneticist Linda Strasbaugh say the skull actually belongs to a woman under 40 years old.
You know, Hitler was a middle-sized male, and usually males in our species are bigger, more robust, the bone is thicker. This bone, it was very small, very fragile, and very thin in terms of the plate. And I remember looking at it initially and I saying, gee, more like a woman or a small man. Somebody I would expect to be 20 to 40 years of age. And Hitler was 56 years old when he died.
His colleague Linda carried out DNA testing on pieces that Nick somehow managed to bring to the U.S. from Russia.
We had two moments that were eureka moments. The first was when we actually were able to get DNA. The second was when we saw the profile, because then it was clear to us that that was not the skull of a man.
But why was everybody so convinced it was Adolf Hitler's skull?
A soldier working near the crater finds this bone, and it's got a bullet hole, and it's burnt. And I think an assumption was made, this must be Hitler.
According to Soviet soldiers, Hitler's body was unrecognizable and reduced nearly to ash.
The Soviets dug up two really badly fire-damaged sets of human remains. And from these remains, they took Hitler's jaw and teeth, and they sent it back to Moscow.
The jaw is intact enough that they can examine the teeth, and what they do is they find the two dentists that worked on Hitler's teeth, and they were able to point out specifically a bridge that they had done in the upper right jaw.
Dental assistants. That's how little the Soviets have. They've got nothing. Oh, they've got a couple of fragments of jawbone with some teeth.
So have we been fooled? Is Adolf Hitler still alive? Some people say Hitler fled Germany. There are many theories saying Hitler fled to another country. One of the most popular is that Hitler escaped Berlin entirely. Some believe he boarded a secret U-boat and made his way to Argentina, where several high-ranking Nazis are known to have fled after the war. Villages in South America have been linked to former SS officers, with strange rumors of a mysterious German leader living among them. Others suggest he went into hiding in Spain, a country ruled at the time by Franco, who had been sympathetic to the Nazis. There are also stories of him retreating into secret underground bases in the Austrian Alps. To many, these stories sound like fantasies, but the absence of clear physical proof kept the door open for speculation. The Americans and British intelligence agencies didn't completely dismiss these rumors. After the war, the FBI even investigated dozens of sightings of Hitler across the globe. Recently declassified files show that they took these reports seriously, at least enough to follow up on them. No evidence was ever found that proved Hitler survived the war. But the fact that such powerful agencies were even looking shows just how uncertain the truth really was. So, what's the most likely explanation? Most historians still agree Hitler died in Berlin in 1945. Witnesses from the bunker consistently describe his suicide and the burning of his body. The missing remains and the fake skull may simply be the result of Soviet secrecy, sloppy investigation, and decades of Cold War propaganda. But the fact remains, the one piece of proof we were told for years was his, turned out not to be. That small detail keeps the door open, just enough for mystery to survive.
The idea of Hitler living anonymously as a Mr. X somewhere in Spain or in Argentina, in Antarctica, it's not Hitler's style. He was the Führer of Germany, he wanted to go down as such, and one of the reasons why he killed himself is because he wanted to avoid the shame of overthrow or surrender.
Before we move on, if you're enjoying this deep dive into hidden history, make sure you subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments what you think happened to Hitler. I create story-based documentaries like this one, helping uncover mysteries, forgotten stories, and shocking truths from history. Conclusion: the man who haunts history. Whether Hitler died in that bunker or managed to slip away into the shadows, one thing is certain. His actions left scars that changed the world forever. Sometimes history doesn't give us all the answers, and sometimes the mystery is what makes the story live on. So today we learned that the only proof Hitler died at the bunker was not actually proof. There is no proof, only witness statements. Are you a World War II enthusiast? Check out the video on screen right now. It is a complete timeline of World War II, telling all events day by day. Click on it now, and I'll see you there.